Hello, I'm Edgar and I'm here to interview Dan Gordan as my sporting hero. Thanks, Dan. I'd like to appreciate you for joining me as my sporting interview, and I'm just going to start off by asking you a few questions. Is that okay?
You walk away.
Where did you grow up and what was your childhood like?
I grew up in a small place called Lough Island. It's about 30 miles from here, or an hour. It's just outside Downpatrick. It's a small country village. I still live there. I live about 200 yards from where I was born. I set us out in the country, and my childhood was like anybody else in the country, you know. A lot of us spent outdoors and, you know, playing football, playing sports. So it was just a normal, busy childhood.
Who inspired you to start Gaelic and who was your sporting hero as a child?
Well, Lough Island's very small. It's a small parish. There's not much else in Lough Island, only the Gaelic club. So it's the hub of the community. So all the young fellas in Lough Island would play for Lough Island. And it's really expected that they play for Lough Island. And even the Gaelic club, there's no hurling or any other sport apart from Gaelic football. All my family have played Gaelic football. My uncles on my mother's side and my father's side have all played Gaelic football, and they've all played for Lough Island club. And then when I was younger as well, when I was 7, down won All Ireland in '91, and then I was 10 or 11 to win All Ireland '94. So I suppose all the '91, '94 teams would be my heroes at the time.
And what secondary school did you go to and did you like it?
I went to St Patrick's in Downpatrick. It's called the Red High. It's actually Mr Sloan's old school. Yeah, I liked it. I wasn't the best student in the world. I was into sport, and at that time in that school there was no GCSE PE and there was no A-level PE. But I liked school okay. I wasn't that good at maths or science. I was better at the essay writing and English and history and politics, things like that, and I did those for A-level. But I was involved in a lot of sport in school, with a soccer team, I was knitting and cross country, and obviously Gaelic football. So I liked school, and I liked the Red High, and we sometimes train at the club at the Red High, and I like going back and seeing what's happening there.
Would you have played any other sports as a child or had any other hobbies?
Yeah, I was big into soccer, and I'm still big into soccer. But I suppose I came to the age, I played under 8s up through to under 16s. But when I got to 16, I made down minors, and I had the choice of playing soccer on a Saturday morning to play for down minors, and it was a very easy choice. So I had to give up the soccer, and I haven't really played soccer since. Played maybe the odd game for a seconds or something like that. But I always enjoyed playing soccer and I like playing soccer. But I don't think if you play Gaelic at a high level that you can continue to play soccer. But I'm still interested in all sports. I'd be interested in soccer, support Man City, and I'd go over there 2 or 3 times a year, and I'd follow Man City and the Premiership and European football. I like playing golf. I'm not that great at it. I like sport and TV, and I like, you know, playing a bit of different sports. But I suppose Gaelic football is my main passion.
During school, would you have prioritised sport or school more?
It's a tough question. I was picked for down seniors when I was still in 7th year. So when I was doing my A-levels, I was playing for Down at the time. So my first match for Down was a championship against Donegal in 2002, and I had to go the next day and do a history exam. You know, so I found it hard in 6th and 7th year coping with Down 21s and Down seniors and school. But I suppose I managed it okay. But looking back, I probably took a bit of a risk, and I should have concentrated more on the books and the studies.
Did your parents help you, decide if you should just focus more on the football or just?
Oh no,
focus on
they
school?
had parents that pushed. They were happy I was playing for Down. That I was playing for Down, but I think they knew really that at that age, I could play for Down. I was 19, 20, 21 at that age. I needed to get my A levels, so they made me knuckle down and do a bit of work.
Do you have any friends that would have motivated you the most to do your best in Gaelic?
As I said, in our club in Lough Island, the parish Lough Island, it's not like Newry or Downpatrick. Everybody plays for the club, and everybody goes to the club, and everybody's, would support the club, and it's a small parish community, so everybody buys into that.
Would you still be good friends with any of them?
Yeah. I suppose you play for a club, you're always playing with your friends. If you're playing with Down, you're playing on some different clubs, but when you're playing for your club, I found it, I enjoyed when I stopped playing for Down, going back to my club, and then playing with the ones that and we hadn't played so much with because I was playing with Down.
Yeah.
I enjoyed going back and playing with the friends that I had from primary school or secondary school.
I heard that your nickname was Big Dan. How did that come about?
So big, my name's Dan.
Like, would you still be called Big Dan?
No, not really, just all the time. Like, not really.
So what was your favourite moment or experience as a young lad?
I suppose Gaelic football wise, I remember whenever we were young in 1984, I was at my granny's house, and a fella from Loughlin Island was on the county board, and for some reason he got a hold of the Sam Maguire Cup because Down won it that year. So we had it in the house then for a couple of hours. My granny had it in the house for a couple of hours. So I always remember that, and that's to me something that inspired you want to do well and you'd like to win it yourself. You know, I never did.
Was there a time when Gaelic helped you out in a not so great time?
There's probably no particular incident, but I found that when you play sport, whether it's a high level or not, you know, it's good to it helps take your mind off things. So if you're doing right levels, or if you're having a tough time at work, or whatever it is, that when you come home from school or work, you can go and play your sport and take your mind off it for a while and maybe relieve stress or get rid of aggression or whatever it is. But I wouldn't say there's any particular incident where I thought sport was, you know, really helped me. But over a long period of time, I feel I've needed it, and it's come towards the end of my career. I'm worried now what'll happen whenever I stop playing football.
Do you have to give up any social events or family events for football?
Yeah, well, I suppose even at club level, but mostly at county level, you miss out a lot of, like, for my age, you miss out a lot of stag do's, you miss out a lot of weddings that I haven't been on. A lot of my friends, a cousin plays for Linfield, and he got married last year, and his stag do was in Portugal, and I couldn't go to it because of club football. And, you know, I've missed a lot of weddings throughout the years, and then when you're at university, you know, when everybody else is heading out, if you're dedicated to your sport, you know, you can still socialise with me, just not as much as those who aren't playing a high level of sport. But they're all sort of sacrifices you have to make if you want to be successful, if you want to do well, and want to make something of yourself. It's not just for sport; it's probably for a lot of things. If sacrifices have to be made.
You played your first professional match in 2002 against Donegal. What was your experience in that match?
Well, it wasn't professional. If it was professional, I wouldn't be decent that way. The first experience of the match was I was only called onto the panel 3 weeks before it, and I said I was doing my levels, it's still to school, and a lot of the players from the 91-94 team, or 3 or 4 of them, were still in the squad. So whenever I was called up, we went to our first meeting in the Canal Court, I was in awe of all the players that were around me, you know, because a couple of weeks before I was going to watch them in National League matches and expecting to go and watch them in the Championship, and then they're in the same room as them. But against Donegal, I was playing wing half forward, down to a lot of injuries at the time. A lot of experienced players couldn't play, so I was given a chance, and played right half forward, and we got stuffed in Ballybuffet. So I said one of the headlines in the paper, because I was young and just under the squad, it said Flash Gordon making his appearance for Down, and then I was taken off 10 minutes in the second half, and I was walking up the sideline, and one of the Donegal supporters shouted on, "You're not so something Flash now, Gordon." So it wasn't a good experience.
My first ever match watching was Gaelic, which was Down versus Cork in the final. You played there half forward, was it?
No, full back.
Full back.
Transferred to full back.
Well, what was your experience of it?
To be honest, I don't remember much about the day. The whole campaign and the journey to the Ireland final was something that I didn't really expect that year. I was in the panel at the start of the year. Down made the National League final, Division 2, and then we beat Donegal, and then lost to Tyrone into the qualifiers, and just kept step by step, and eventually made the final. The final to me is a blur. I still haven't watched it back. My man played well that day, and I didn't play so well. He scored 3 or 4 points. But it was a good experience to be there. I wish I had been more relaxed about it and enjoyed it more and taken more of it in, because, well, for a lot of people, including myself, it's a one-off or a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I wish I had made more of the opportunity, and it'd been great to have won it. But even with losing it, it'd be nice if I had taken more in and enjoyed it more, and In the lead up to the final, I sort of locked myself away because I didn't want to be involved in any of the build up, or it was probably a stupid thing to do, and I regret doing that, and I wish I had have enjoyed the build up to the Ireland final more.
I saw that you retired in 2010 briefly, and then you came back for the 2010 start of the season. Was there any reason for that?
I didn't retire, I just took a break. We were at the club, we were sitting towards the bottom of Division 1, and in 2008 I was captain of Down, 2009 I was captain of Down, and those 2 years I was also captain of my club, and those 2 years we got to the county final in 2008 and 2009, so we've been playing football for Down all year, then we're back to the club. I was playing football all winter with the club, and then with relegation playoffs, we were bottom of the league. That happened 2 years in a row, and there was a big shock to us to get anywhere near the championship final. So by the end of it, with all the disappointment of 2008, 2009, and the club football even, I was just sick of football, and Down started back early that year, and it was James McCarthy's first year, and he phoned me and said, look, I have an appetite to play it, I've no real interest in playing, and county football then was getting very, very serious. I was getting 4 or 5 nights a week, and I couldn't commit. I could have committed, and I also had my first child at the time, so I just felt it was too much, and I didn't really. It's one of those things, if your heart's in it, you can't really do it, and my heart wasn't in it, so I took a break, and I didn't play during the National League. And at the end of the National League, he phoned me to come back, and then I'm back, and I'm glad I did.
What was your favourite match to play in, or the match that you feel you played your best in?
Probably in 2008, we played Tyrone in Tyrone, and then we were getting beat, and we come back and we drew the match, and then we played them back in Newry. And in my whole career with Down, from 2012 up until the last couple of years, Down had never had a home game. I've never played a home championship match to be drawn at home in Newry, but we were drawn away to Oma in Healy Park, or to Tyrone in Healy Park, Oma, and we drew the match, and then the replay was back in the marshes, and there were 19,000 there. It was packed out, and it's a good, very tight match. Went to extra time, and then won by a point in the end. So those 2 matches together, probably my greatest memory playing for Down.
Do you have to follow any serious or follow a certain diet or any training schedule?
Most managers when they come in would have brought in nutritionists. Even at club level now, they're talking about nutrition and all. Honestly, it's probably one aspect of my game that I didn't really pay much attention to. That I would have eaten. I'm actually paying more attention to it now, getting older, than I would have back when I was actually playing a high level football. I just found I could eat anything and not really put on too much weight, or I just found that if I was eating my breakfast, lunch and dinner were healthy and got me all I needed, I could eat whatever I wanted around it. And I did do that, but now I'm noticing that if I do that, I start to put on weight. So I'm starting to pay more attention to my diet now that I'm finishing football than I did when I was playing football.
What would your favourite healthy meal be?
I don't really have a favourite healthy meal, to tell you the truth. I'd have healthy breakfast and lunch, and I'd really honestly do anything dinner. What advice would you give for someone trying to play for the Down County team? I suppose your aim when you're younger is to just be as good as you can, but I think if you too much pressure on young people, or too much pressure on a young person to play for Down or play at a certain level, that if any young people sort of step away from sport or Gaelic football, that my advice should be just to enjoy playing sport and enjoy whatever sport it is, whether it's Gaelic football or soccer, and enjoy the training and get the most out of the training and to listen to coaches that are advising you. But if you don't enjoy it, the years I didn't enjoy it, I didn't play well, and that's why when I really didn't enjoy it, I took a step away and took a break for a while. The most important thing is to enjoy it and find out what you enjoy and what you enjoy with the sport, and then try and improve on that.
Well, that's all my questions, and I'd like to thank you for taking your time out to do this interview with me.
Anytime.